Hello, good afternoon. If you are here with me, hello, good afternoon. This is Inkadishala. I'm sorry I came very late, and when you put a farmer in charge of technical issue, and you want your farmer to sort your technical stuff, as in fixing the video and everything, you have a slight problem. Sorry, I was just able to fix the whole thing. Now let's go straight off into the class. Now I was saying, I said I'm going to be discussing farm manager and farm workers, the challenges, where to source them, how to source them. Before I start, somebody said I'm always too fast. I will try to be slow. I will try to slow down. I will see if I can do that. I will try, anyway. Now, when you're talking of farm workers, see, 99% of farmers are having that challenge. 99%, because if you're a farmer, you want to produce. Even it's not about crop farming alone right now. It's about livestock. It's about everything. Whatever in whatever type of crop you are producing or whatever system you are doing, definitely you are using farm worker. As in, farm workers are the people that assist us to work on the farm. As in, they help us to work. You want to lift the soil, you want to wash, you want to feed your livestock, you want to do everything. So you have the farm workers in that aspect. Now the issue is, how do you source for them? What are the challenges we're facing with them, and what is happening? I'm going to briefly explain this to you. Most times I've been on the farm for quite, let's say, 8, 9, 10 years now. Yes, I've been on the farm, and I know the challenges that every one of us have been facing. So today I'm going to share some of my experience, and I'm going to tell you the challenges I'm having, and I'm going to try to profile a kind of solution to it. You know what happened? If you are free, please, if you have question, you can drop it as we're going to that. I'll put it along with the question. There's something with the Fulani. You know the Fulani, Fulani people, that if you have a challenge in the rural side, if you have a challenge and you now went to meet the Fulani and say, look, if you Fulani have challenge and they come to meet you and say, look, I have this challenge, and they tell them this person can solve it. You know the first question they will ask you, they will say, have you solved that kind of problem before? So that's why I said I'll be sharing my challenges with you so that you understand what I've been going through. Okay, this is what I do. Every year, I normally have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 farm workers. And we don't have workers in Nigeria. Let me be candid with you. We don't have people that do the hard labor again in Nigeria. And I'm not blaming anybody for it. And there's no way to blame anybody for it. I will tell you why we are not getting workers in Nigeria again. And the first reason we're not getting workers in Nigeria again, you and I have our kids, we have our children, and we want them to go to school. And farming is not part of the school we envisage for our children. As in, we want our children to go to school, and so we pay that huge school fees, we take care of all these things because we want them to get a better deal. And we never envisage farming, going with the whole stealing the soil is going to be part of what we're going to be doing in school. But where something happened is this. When the children finish schools, or while they were even in school, while they are finishing school, we've been training them to be sufficient so that they will meet the office job. When they finish in school, they couldn't get the office job. So eventually, they have to be looking for other alternatives to sustain themselves. And even some of us, we are working somewhere where we are not satisfied. And now we need other alternatives to sustain our work. And that's why we find ourselves back in farming. If I'm wrong, you can say so. If I'm wrong, you can say so. Okay. Now, like I said, somebody said I'm always too fast, so I'm slowing down a bit so that we'll move this way. So now you now find out that, is it that your child or my child that I've trained, that I've spent that money to send to Covenant University, to send to Bowen University, that I will have to go and do farm worker for somebody? Please answer that question. Are you training your kids to be farm workers for anyone, to be farm workers? No. But circumstances, to be farm workers is even laborers. Circumstances, and sometimes even farm manager. You did not train your child to come to finish university with all those money we are spending, and then we now come and become farm manager. No way. So you don't expect to get it. And right now, you as the father, me as the mother, we want to have a farm, and we are looking for farm manager. So obviously, you are not looking for a Nigerian to be your farm manager. There are 3 sorts of places where you can get farm manager. The 3 sorts of places where you can get farm manager is, sorry, I am looking at I'm using two channels and one is something, but it's okay, fine. Now there are two places, there are three places, two alternative in Nigeria where you can get farm manager. One is the northerners. The northerners, sorry to use this word, the northerners have plenty population, as in they have plenty children, and most cases they don't send them to school. They go to, they don't send them to school. So they are able, those guys, those almajiris, all this whatever, the ones, most of them, they end up finding themselves in the farm. And that's why northerners don't have challenges, and that's why they can produce as much food as they are producing, because they have cheap labor. When I say cheap labor, I mean cheap labor. So the first alternative of getting farm laborers is cheap labor in the north. I remember somebody that got in touch with me. He wanted to start the farm, and he concluded at the end of the day when I told him farm worker is the challenge around there. So he went down to the north and went to get 1 hectare. He went to lease a 1 hectare tomato farm in the north. And when he leased the 1 hectare tomato farm in the north, he has cheap labor. But see, if you are coming here to farm southwest, south, you are deceiving yourself. There's no cheap labor. There's even no labor. It is when you get labor that you now get cheap one. There's no labor, not to talk of getting cheap one. It's only in the north you can get access to labor and all those cheap labor, honestly. Now, that is one. Another source of where we get farm workers, let me tell you, another source of where we get farm workers again is the Benue people. Apology to anyone watching this one that is from Benue or whatever, but I will tell you something. Benue people are very hardworking. The Benue guys and everything, they are very hardworking. They are the next set of people that do hard labor. Farm worker. Okay, maybe I didn't define it when I'm starting. Farm worker means the people that are tilling the soil, the people that, those ones that are doing the hard labor for you on the farm. They are the farm workers, as in, they are the ones that make that yam heaps. You see, there's something, if you really want to enjoy this program, like I said, I will try to be coming up with all this type of things when I get back from the farm. And if you understand Yoruba, please join me on my channel called, my Facebook page, Isheagbe. Isheagbe means farming. I'm going to be inviting Yoruba farmers. Sorry, I intentionally did that because the farmers in my community are Yoruba, and I want them to share their experience with people. So if you speak Yoruba, you can understand Yoruba to some extent, just go to that page. A lot of people have been there. I've discussed with an anchor that will take it all. We'll be going, apart from farms, we'll be bringing in farmers and everything, so that you learn from the real farmers on the farm. That one is aside. I make sure it's a Yoruba speaking something. Though we might be mixing it with English, but like I told you, the farmers that will be on the program, or the farmers that will be asking the questions, that will be bringing in the informations, they cannot really express in English. So that will be a Yoruba channel. So if you understand, you can join us there. Now, going back to what I'm saying, Benue guys are very hardworking. They can, like I said, farm workers. They are the ones that till the soil. They do the heavy work in the farm. And somebody will say, I'm sure as I'm talking, you'll be wondering, why will I need farm worker? Or why farm worker when I can get machineries? Why farm worker when there's tractor? Now, let me go back somewhere. Let me reverse you back. If you get a tractor, you need an operator to run the tractor. That operator is a worker, is a farm worker. Now, let me give you some instances. Some people will come, they'll say, okay, I will buy machineries. If you buy the machineries, will you be the one running the machineries? Can you ride a tractor? Can you operate a tractor by yourself? As in, you can use the tractor to work on your farm by yourself. And even if you can, it obviously means for you to be running the tractor means you are sitting down at that place and you don't have any other thing to do again. You are the one running the farm yourself personally for you to be the operator of the tractor, because when you are operating the tractor, during rainy season, you operate the tractor and you do some other work. That is one. So you need farm worker. You need somebody to run the tractor. If you bring the tractor in to the farm, the tractor will only plow for you. If the tractor plow, the tractor will not plant for you. The tractor will not spray fertilizer, not spray insecticide for you. The tractor will not. Now, I'm going to be taking this before. Okay, I said I'm coming here to discuss farm worker. Now, I'm going into telling you the machinery stuff, the process you are doing on the farm where you need machineries. And where you need farm laborers or farm workers too. Now, on the farm, you find out that with the tractor, your tractor can only do a specific work for you, not all the work on the farm. And if you follow my write-up, you know, I write a lot. I always tell people, forget about, it's not about tractor. Personally, right now, as I'm speaking with you, if I have money, I will not buy tractor. Tractor is not the ultimate. Tractor will only do that plowing and make some kind of ridges. It is when you have some kind of attachment to your tractor that it will be able to perform some other functions for you on the farm. Like we have different attachments that we need to add to the tractor for the tractor to give you a better job. Like if you want to make raised bed, the normal tractor we are using in Nigeria, we don't have the attachment for raised bed yet, unless somebody bring that one in. Okay, keep that aside. Now, I told you the Benue guys, you can watch the video back over when, after the lecture or wherever, after the class, after this the Benue guys, they are very hardworking as workers. They want to do farm worker. But there's one snag. One major snag with the Benue guys is that, you see, like, I'm apologizing again, but I need to say this out. And I know a lot of people have that experience. Benue guys are not trustworthy when it comes to leaving your farm with them. As in, we call them Benue guys because most of them will just say, I'm from Benue, you know, that kind of thing. So, if you, they work, like I said, they are very hardworking. They'll do the work for you on your farm. But at harvesting, except you are going to be sleeping on the farm or whatever it is, they will start harvesting your crop behind you, or except you are personally living on the farm, or I don't know how you want to protect that, or sometimes they bring in outsiders to come and steal your farm produce. So in most cases, farmers try to keep away from Benue workers. Now this is where most Nigerians, when I tell people, I've mentioned the outside guys, I've mentioned the Benue workers. Now the third source of farm workers that we get is foreigner. Okay, let me mention the Yoruba guys. The Yoruba guys of workers, they are the most lazy set of people you can get. If you see a Yoruba guy that said you want to work with you on your farm, you are deceiving yourself. Oh. You are deceiving yourself, number one. It cannot do anything. So Yoruba are the laziest set. So we don't even count them as farm workers. You can't see a Yoruba guy and say you have a farm worker. No, you don't have. You know, if you are in Ogun State, you are in whatever, one Yoruba guy, I'm abayin shishe, I will do your work for you. Alaye, nalayo, forget it. They are not doing that work. But I'm just telling you what is happening there. I'm sharing from my experience. Even in my community here, you see them wake up in the morning and they'll be playing Ludo or playing Ayu or whatever they call it. Or they rather go to Lagos and do motorcycle or Okada or do whatever, but not farm work, because they've seen their father suffered on the farm. So they don't want to go through that process again. The Yoruba guys don't do farm workers. Forget it. Now, the Benue guys, I told you, they will steal your farm dry. At the end of the day, even if they did not steal your farm for that season, it obviously mean the next season. It's obviously mean the next season, when they are not even working for you again, they already know the system of your farm, so they will definitely find their way and come to your farm, and they find their way to come to your farm and take whatever they want to take. Now, that is that about that. Now, the other sector of farm workers where we get in some locality, not even my locality, in Lagos area, wherever, is the Benin guys, the foreigners. Beninese, we have the Beninese, we have the Burkina Faso, we have the one that will come from Togo. They are different names. They have different tribes. We call them by their tribe name. We call some Jukums. We call some Guruma. We call some, they are different types. We call them by their tribe name, like Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, like we call ourselves there. So Togo, Beninese, Burkina Faso, and everything. Now, the easy thing we think, people in the town, they will tell you they get Benue boys to work for them. Benue boys' money is a bit reduced. They will tell you maybe 30,000 or 40,000 per month. But like I told you, I've given you the excuses there. And then the way they work are quite different from each other. Benue guys work they got to farm 8 o'clock and they are leaving by 2 o'clock. That's if they stay till 2 o'clock. There will be break time in between. But if you have the foreigners are paid, the foreigners work very well. Why? Maybe because, it's like us here, leaving Nigeria and traveling to Europe or other country to go and work. All your concentration is, I want to go back home. I want to work here and I want to get back home. So you'll be struggling to just do whatever they will want to do and get back home. And in the process, you don't have, no relative will call you and say, they are doing naming ceremony, or they are doing, there's no activities. So their concentration is mainly on the work they come to do. So once the foreigners come, they've come to work and nothing again, and they will do whatever you give them to do, as in whatever work they've come to do. So they are very concentrated. But like I told you, their payment is Motorcycle, we pay them with motorcycle. They collect motorcycle for their pay, which is expensive and is becoming expensive, and which is becoming a challenge right now. Now, for the farm workers, the Benin guys I just told you, they collect motorcycle. Last year, motorcycle was about 370, 400, 350,000. Yes, I bought motorcycle. A lot of people bought for 400, 380. Motorcycle for farm workers. That is outside the feeding. That is outside clothing. That is outside any medical. And when they are going, you fuel the motorcycle and give them transport money. You know, it's beyond, it's expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. It's quite expensive. Now, briefly here, right here, I've mentioned 3 main types of farm laborers or farm workers that you can have access to. Because right now, as I'm speaking with you, as we are talking, I know the major challenges of farmers is farm workers. A lot of farmers don't have access to farm workers. As I'm speaking with you, even me, I've not had farm workers. I'm going to share my experience with you. It's not that I've not had, I know I will have, but it is beyond the time I'm expecting them. But I will tell you, that's why I said, look, it's good to share the challenges with you, then you understand what is happening. Yearly, every year, I used to have my workers from Burkina Faso. And most times when they are coming, they come around March. They come, to me, it is late. So because I felt they come late, last year, I got somebody close by from Benin. And some 2 years ago, I got somebody close from Benin. And the guy was living here, has been living around here before. So I gave him money to go to Benin Republic last year to go and bring the boys for me. You know, Benin is closer than Burkina Faso. So that guy went to Benin last year and brought boys for me. When he was coming last year, he brought 3 boys. I told him I want just 3 boys for the farm. He came with 3 boys. Not up to a week later, one of his brother, whatever, they brought another 3 or let me say 3.5 boys. When they came, I said, no, 3 is okay for me. These other ones we are bringing are too much. But he said, no, they will work. The work will be plenty. We'll make plenty money. You know, that kind of system. I allowed them to stay. At the end of the year, I paid through my nose. They eat like elephants. I'm being candid with you. Now, you remember I have Burkina boys that used to come from Burkina Faso. So my boys from Burkina Faso, like I told you, they still come last year. They came in March. I was even telling them on the phone, don't come, oh, don't come. I have collected boys. They didn't answer me. They came in March. When they came, since they came purposely because of me, I cannot reject them. So, because they are coming to me, they won't go to anybody. And immediately they come, I have to pay for their transport. So what I did was I sent them to other farmers that need them, because farmers are there that do not have boys. So I gave the boys, my Burkina boys last year, I allowed them to go and work in some other farmers' farm. Now, when we did like that, it means at the end of the year, I'm still responsible. Though I'm responsible because as far as the boys are concerned, they will go and work wherever I ask them to work. But I'm responsible to them. They will do the work I ask them to do with the other farmer. They did that, but the farmer will pay me, not them. They just know it's me, it's my work they are doing. To them, that's the way they believe it, because they hand them, the guy that brought them hand them over to me. So by the end of the year, that farmer was very faithful. Even the farmer gave me his bike money when bike was not too expensive. I didn't buy it on time because it was giving me 111. By the time I want to go and buy all the bikes price have increased by like 40,000, and the farmer paid. I was surprised. I even told him that this coming year, he should buy his own bike. He should not wait for me because I was the one that delayed. He said, no, that after all, you understand, I'm just letting you know what is happening here on the farm. So my Burkina boys now want to go back. I told you Benin is closer, Burkina is far, extremely far. So I begged my farm supervisor that has been bringing Benin boys. You know, he's in Benin because I'm the one that is paying. Okay, go to Benin. Benin is not far compared to Burkina. So I now said, okay, take these guys along, the Burkina boys, so that this other boy that used to come will not come again this far. So that you guys will meet in Benin. Let Ismail come from Burkina, meet you in Benin, so that you exchange. You give Ismail the motorcycle for the boys, and then Ismail will give, and then Ismail was bringing, I've been calling him, is bringing another boys for me. That was December last year, so that they can resume early. So I gave the one on the farm here, the Benin guy, money to do that for me. When the Benin guy got to to meet the other one, the Burkina Faso guy. They know it themselves on my farm. You know, I'll be using all of them. When they met at Benin, the one coming from Burkina hand over the boys, the new boys. He gave the new boys to the one coming back to Nigeria, and he collected the old boys that are going home with the motorcycle. And then they left. Do you know the one that is coming to Nigeria came back, just called me and said, the police caught those boys. I mean, those other two boys that were coming with. So he didn't bring the boys to Nigeria. He said that police nearly called them, that they ran away. So he came. I was disturbed. I have to start calling the one that was going back to Burkina. He said it's a lie, that is dead. Let me leave that cycle. Now, on coming this year, I told you I have to share my experience with you. I don't understand. So this year, the guy with me, the one that is working with me, the one that is staying permanent, he now went back. He brought 4 boys from Benin for me. And I told him, see, these 4 boys is enough for now. Let's start something before we get another boys. And the other boys you are bringing, I want to give it to some other people, because people have said, please, since you have access to all these boys, let me get boy, let me get, you know, that kind of. And I said, no problem, because I know he will bring, and the other boy from Burkina will also bring. So he said no, that he still want to go back now. Then he traveled back again. The boys he left with me on the farm, that's one. It's good I'm sharing this. The one challenge with them is that the boys they left with me on the farm, they don't understand any bit of Yoruba, so I cannot communicate with them. So I will just go there, use hands and describe. And since he speaks Yoruba, he was supposed to come back and manage the boys for me on the farm. So we have to keep waiting for him. He stayed for like 4 weeks or more than that. He said he's sick, whatever. I'll keep calling, because I bought a phone. I bought him Android phone and all this stuff. So because since we are working together here, he's working with me here. Now, by the time he came back, after like 4 weeks or more than that, he came back with another 5 boys. Now I'm going to mention something. Last year, remember I told you, he came with 3 boys, and then later they bring extra 3.5 boys. There's a small boy they bring, and I used to say half boy. And I told him, look, I don't want small boys. It's child abuse. Give me big boys. So this year when he was going, I said, if you bring anyone small, I will not collect. He said, no problem. So the first set of 4 boys he brought, they were good. They were okay. Now the next, when he now went back, he came with another 5 boys. And I said, and then there was small one there. I said, this small one, he said, they will stay. They will collect motorcycle in 2 years. I said, no, I am not doing child labor. I prefer elderly boys and whatever, so I won't take them. So at the long run, he insisted, if I'm not taking the small one, I guess the small one are their relatives, and they just want me to pay, and they're not. So he said, if I'm not taking the small ones, he's going to collect everyone, including the 4 boys and everything. I said, no problem, you should just go with all of them. Because, that is why I now understand, okay, that is why he intentionally did not bring the Burkina boys. Remember, they gave him Burkina boys to bring for me, which he lost on the road. He intentionally ran away and disappeared. And the boys are new, they've never come out of their town before. So I told him, so this is what you want to do, because you want to bring your own people. So you intentionally lost those boys. You know, that kind of thing. Though, as I'm speaking, the boys they didn't go back home. They didn't go back because they've determined they want to come and work. But you know, they couldn't proceed to Nigeria. So they are presently, as I'm speaking, they are working in Benin Republic. They didn't come back to Nigeria. You see, I have to share my experience. So now he left, and that is why right now I don't have a farm worker on the farm. Though I've been getting some other guys, but you know, one, if you cannot communicate with them, it's a big issue. Because if you cannot communicate, is a big issue, 1. Then 2, I prefer, now I have to call back, immediately I have to call back those my other boys, as in the one in Burkina that is sending guys to me. And you know them now, preparation and everything, they don't always have money. I'm going to be sincere. Like today, I still spoke with them. I was angry with them because they keep saying Monday. But today they declared, they said, like about a week, they said, yeah, we don't have money to come. I said, okay, fine. Get somebody. Get a bike or whoever, because they travel with bike. Yes, they travel with motorcycle from here to Burkina Faso. So I told them, they said the money will be much. I said, yes, just come. Anyhow, I will pay. Now, sorry, I've shared my experience with you. I'm hoping, and they told me by tomorrow, next tomorrow. So now today, tomorrow, they will go and be making arrangement for somebody that will be able to, that will know the road, and that, because they can't pass the main road. If they pass the main road, truly, police or they are police or whatever, we arrest them. They don't like them coming out to come and work. Actually, I have the intention that when next when they are getting, when they are going, I'm traveling with them. I wanted to travel this year. It was the one in Benin on my farm that said no need, since he's already going. So you go and arrange media. So you know, there's now, why did I have to share all these expenses with you, all this wala? So far, I've spent over 290,000. That was what I gave the boy, going and coming and everything. Yet I did not have a working boy. You see, when we tell people what is happening on the farm, you feel farming is not for the faint-hearted. Even my community, they were like, I should take police, I should arrest him. I say no. You know, there are some things you don't, you know, leave that side. Now, coming back to managing the boys, I personally, I prefer to have those boys that I can speak, those ones that have worked with me before. Because one, they can communicate with me. Two, they've known my nature of work. Now, as they are coming, two of them are coming back. The one that sent somebody say he will work this year, and then they are bringing extra 2 boys first. Now, why am I saying this? The challenge there is that when they come, like I said, they eat like elephants. This other one, they already know my system. We know how we manage ourselves here when they come around. One. Now, work. I don't share work. I don't distribute work. See, if you want to enjoy your workers, I'm going to be sincere with you. I personally cannot manage them, cannot run them. We call them managing or running them. Except you yourself, if you can you make 100 or 200 heaps of yam every day? Naturally, for farmers, they will tell them you have to make 200 heaps of yam, big heaps of yam. That is what farmer calculates. I don't make heaps of yam on my farm. So that's how farmer used to justify if the boy can work or not. It's hard labor. I'm being sincere with you guys. It's hard labor. Now, I don't do that on my whole farm because I don't do the hard labor and whatever. What I'm now explaining is, if you have them on your farm, if you don't make them, if you are not producing something that is short term, that will quickly bring in money for you, it obviously means you might not be able to utilize the boys very well. You will not be able to utilize them very well because you will not be able to justify your money as a farmer. I told you we buy a motorcycle for them. Last year we bought motorcycle. This year they are asking for, we bought Bajaj motorcycle. There's a motorcycle called Bajaj. They specifically request for it. Now this year, why I've not gotten this year, or why some other people have not gotten this year, they are requesting, I'm waiting for my boys, but some of the farmers there, they've not gotten, they are requesting for an higher version. There's a vehicle now, they said, I'll do or whatever. So they're requesting, and it's expensive than Bajaj. Now, if they're selling that motorcycle around this time, this is February, March, if they're selling that motorcycle for 450,000. It means by the time the workers will be going, they'll be selling it about 500 or 600,000. Now, considering the challenges we have on the farm last year, when rain was not regular, and see, there's an agreement in this community. It's not in the rural side. Lagos, I know Lagosians don't care, but in the rural side, when you said, we don't even write it down. We don't write it down and say, this is what the boys will collect. We just speak like this and say, okay, you collect Bajaj, I'll give you Bajaj. Simple. And everybody keep to that agreement. It's a village, it's a rural life study, rural life thing. But if the moment you say, okay, I'll pay you, if they come, you negotiate, okay, it's Bajaj, it's not Bajaj, it's money, it's not money. If you agree, you cannot change it again. You cannot. We do that around here. But now, and they trust the farmers around there. I remember last year, I got boys out of, after that, those extra boys they brought for me, they brought some other boys. And I thought, okay, fine, since I can't use all these boys, let me give it out to people outside. Unfortunately, even as I speak, some of them were sending me courses. The people I gave them to were not paying. There was even one Alpha. I know I have to block him on my Facebook. Alpha used the boys and he will not pay, and they will still be blaming. I told them, you need to make them work. You can't have a farm worker, keep them on the farm and not stay with them. That is why I used to have supervisor. And the supervisor has to be somebody that, see, all these are our normal, I'm sorry to use the words, I get farm manager for people, but all these our normal farm manager cannot make farm worker do exact. It's not that the farm worker will not do. See, let me give you an example. Let me not model it up. This is what happened. When I was on the farm, I was running the boys myself. The work that the boys will be doing, to me, they've worked. Oh, I feel they've done a lot of work. But to farmers, excuse me, the other farmers outside that are using them to work, they believe the farmer did one calculation. If I'm paying you 600,000 per year, which means like 50,000. What am I saying? Okay, if I'm buying by Bajaj, like our calculation last year, that means 60,000 every month. So if I'm paying you 60,000 every month, that 60,000 means 2,000 every day. It means for me to pay you 2,000 every day, you should do work. You should work for me that will be able. If I'm buying you motorcycle, addition with money, with in addition with the feeding, housing, and everything. Let's say 600,000 as of then the boy should be able to do double of that 600,000 for you. You as a farmer should be able to realize 600,000 too. I don't know if you understand. It's not 600,000 alone, as in we're just that means every day if they go to your farm, if they do if it's 2,000 per work, they should be able to do 4,000 or 5,000 worth of work on your farm. Now, do you know what 4,000 or 5,000 worth of work means? It means they will work, like I told you, that heaps of yam. Heaps of yam, they'll make 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, they'll make 200. And that 200 heaps of yam is worth, some are 3,000, some are 2,000. It's just now that the price is increasing. So you can imagine them, and they can only make 200 per day, or some of them will try to make, they can only manage to make 200 per day. So you can imagine how they work. So they work from 6 to 6, 6 to 6. Unlike the Benin guys that work 8 to 2 o'clock or whatever, work here is very tedious. Very tedious, I must confess. But you know, I cannot make them to do that kind of work on my farm. But I compensate on my farm because I'm growing vegetables. And vegetables are short-term crops. Other farmers, their crops, see, why farmers do that? Their crops are once in a year crop. If they are making yam heaps, they make yam heaps once. And once they finish making the yam heaps once, as in the harvesting is just once in a year. The harvesting of their crop is once in a year. If they plant yam, it's once in a year. If they plant cassava, it's once in a year. If they plant maize, it's once in a year. So they try to make them do all this work together at that time where they're working. So but for me, like I said, my vegetable is like 4 months. After every 4 months, I go to the market. So I don't have that extra. So that's why when you, from the city, when you are coming and you want to take farm worker, especially the foreign farm worker, I always advise you need extra, you need to make them to work, or else you'll be running at a huge loss. I must confess to you. You'll be running at a huge loss. And now, that's not even why I want to make this discussion. This year, like I told you, they are asking for a different form of motorcycle that is even expensive than the one we've been buying before. Even the normal other farmers that are making them do extra work, they are scared that those motorcycles are too expensive. Now, what is the way forward? Right now, I've been talking and I've been saying the problems, the challenges, and everything and whatever. I like, if you attend any of my live video like this, I always give you the challenges and I try to say, okay, what is the way forward? So, guys, what is the way forward? Like I said, because I've been talking, you know, I've become like I said, if you have questions, you can write your question. You can type your question down, and I'll pick it and respond to it before I leave it. But now, what is the way forward? See, okay, in my home case now, I know I will still have access to farm manager because of what happened to me this year, I've made up my mind that my guy that is bringing those boys now, if they come now, I will not be releasing them until another set come. That's what we plan to do this year before this other guy lost them on the road. But it's still the same thing against next year. I will not send anybody this time around. I'd rather go there myself, and one of them will follow me back here, since I can't speak their language. You understand? But for other farmers, how long, or for us, how long do we have to keep depending on, 1, foreigners, 2, on human beings for our work? That is the question we should ask. If you are here watching me, or you get to watch this video, if you want to farm, how long? How do you want to run your farm? And we are okay, let me give you an instance. I'm supposed to have, by now, my tomato, my pepper should have been almost flowering. But I couldn't. Why? Because there's no farm worker. Obviously, like today, I was discussing with a farmer. I told the boys to pick a motorcycle and come. He now said it would be expensive. I said yes. Because automatically, if they did not come, I'm not working. I'm not going to produce anything this if they did not come. So I don't have a choice. I have to pay. The transport money is different from the motorcycle. Oh. You pay transport money separate and the motorcycle separate. So guys, if we continue like this, I'm just be candid. Like I told you, I'm going to bring up, there's a program I'm bringing up, Ishiagbe, farming. But like I wanted to, let it not be only me. I want farmers to express their opinion. We'll be going to farms. We'll be doing is an interview session with farmers. That's why I said go to my Facebook. I just created the Facebook page, Ishiagbe. I've discussed with some of the farmers and they are ready. Once the place is set up, we should start it off. And we'll be putting the video. You can call in during the program and you ask questions. Farmers, they speak Yoruba. Like I said, we might be able to see if we can translate some. It's just going to be a forum like that. So that, see, people don't really know what is happening. People outside always feel, it's because they didn't know how to do it well. Or it's because they don't have money. Or it's because they don't do this. That is why they are not really making it on the farm. Forget about, see, farming is good. Like I told you, I'm already planning, okay, these boys, how long do I need to keep depending on somebody coming from Burkina Faso for my farm? How long? What if you don't have that money or whatever to keep spending and spending to bring them in? Guys, how do we solve the problem? Now, I would like to hear from you. If you are there, just drop something, ask a question, or say, hey, hi, I'm here. Let's know if I'm not just speaking to myself, if what I'm saying is making a lot of sense. So how do we? Now, there's something that was coming to my mind. See, I think some days ago, I wrote something on my timeline and about abandoned farms, plus how people that want to start newly, how they can join the abandoned farm. People start sending me messages, where's the farm? No. When I'm sharing things like this, it's not that I have a plan for it. See, I learned something when I got messed up with the goat project I did. When I did the goat project, I just put something online like this, and people say, I want, and I jump into it. It failed. I failed in that project. So I've learned not to jump into any project again, or take people when people say, I want. No, I don't. So when I'm saying things, sorry to use this word, I think ideas always come to me a lot. And when okay, people are listening, and thank you. At least it's motivating when you see that people are listening, not just, I'm just looking at people showing, thank you. Well, okay, thank you. This is nice. Okay, so I find out, so now, as I'm saying this, if I say something now, I just want to say, this is what comes to my mind. I'm not planning to do it. I'm just telling you. So if somebody is on this platform and you think, okay, it's a system I can do, you are free to take it off. But now this is what I'm thinking or whatever. Because if we want to produce food in this country, see, food prices have not increased. It's just starting. It's just starting. Because why is it just starting? Why did I say so? Because now, I told you, by now, I'm supposed, the tomato, my pepper, my cucumber should have been going to the market. Because cucumber is actually 40 days. We spend 80 days, and we spend 60 days in this year. So I've even made the hips, I've made the beds, I've made everything that I want to use to plant cucumber, thinking once the boys just come January, I'll start planting, I'll put manure, I'll do this. Now this is February ending. I've not been able to do anything because I'm waiting for the boys. Although, like I told you, I know my Burkina boys used to come late. So it was the Benin one I banked on for early the year, while the Burkina boys will come around March, which now they are coming. I know that one already. But you know, now it means I did not produce anything in January. I did not produce anything in February. And if care is not taking, like most farmers are not, if I'm not producing, which farmer is producing? No farmer in the Southwest, except people that have irrigation. And how many are we? So in my community, nobody's planting anything right now until when the rain start. Maybe if I have maybe tomorrow or in the farming, the Ishiagbe, let me see what happens. I would love to discuss the farming season. I'll bring a topic maybe tomorrow or which other day I have time again. See, what I'm trying to explain is that we cannot continue with this system. As in, we cannot continue as in, okay, we are waiting for farm workers. So what do we do? Now, let me bring something. I was going through the internet sometimes, and I saw outside the country they produce a lot of foodstuffs and everything. What are they using? How are they producing their foodstuff? What are they using to produce their foodstuff? You find out they are using machineries. At the beginning of this class, I was telling you tractor will not do anything, which is true. There are other machineries outside tractors. For instance, on a farm, if you want really what they do outside there, you have a tractor that plowed. the tractor, at the back of the tractor, there will be a different kind of attachment. Is the attachment we have, the attachment that will attach to the spray, to the tractor, is what is doing those jobs. Like I was telling some of my students in a class, you see, in normal agriculture, they divide farming into subsistence farming and commercial farming. Subsistence farming is for those people that are planting just the one they will eat at home. Commercial farming is for big farmers. You see, me, you, and all of us that are here that are farming, we are not subsistence and we are not commercial. We are in between the two. How? I'm not planting for the only thing I will eat. I want to plant and sell. But I don't have money to become that commercial farmer. I don't have enough machineries or enough, to become that commercial farmer. So I'm not a commercial farmer. None of us is a commercial farmer. Meanwhile, we are not subsistent because we are not just producing what to eat. We want to sell. Now, where we need to move is, we need to move from being in the middle. We either want to be subsistence or be commercial. Because this stage where we are not subsistent, we're not commercial, maybe subsistent commercial. It means we are, in my adage, in my place, they will say, it's not hot, it's not cold. It's not a good place to be. So we are in that place. We are not hot, we are not cold. We are not subsistent, we are not commercial, but we are in the middle. So we need to find a way to get out of that place. Either we go back and be planting what we eat alone, or we get out and be commercial. No, how do you become commercial? Like I told you. Now, let me explain something. Dear farmer, as you're watching me here, 70% or 80%, almost 70%, 80% of Nigerians are farmers. Out of these 70, 80% that are farmers, we that are educated farmers will be like 20%, or even more. You know why? You find out a lot of people, they have some other job they are doing, they are working, but they want to retire to the farm. If you see them keeping their money, they are saving money, they want to retire to the farm. Now, this is where the problem is. Anywhere you are, in your community, in wherever you are, if you can come out, know other farmers that are within your community. See, if you know me online, I'm not useful to you, you are not useful to me. I'm being sincere with you. Apart from me sharing all this information, we are not good to each other. Now, but if the farmers in your community, you work with them and say, okay, guys, let's start a cooperative, let's start a group. You can start it. You don't have to wait for somebody because it's going to be beneficial to you. Now, let's start a farmers cooperative. From that, your farmers cooperative or your farmers group, you decide, okay, maybe we are saving 500 naira every day. And from that 500 naira, you guys are able to buy one tractor. You know why? I said tractor is not the only thing. If you have that tractor, things you will now struggle to get along with it is the attachment. Don't forget, I keep saying their attachment. Now, if you have a tractor, you need an attachment that will till the soil. That is what we call the plow. You need attachment. If you want to do raised bed, you need attachment that will do the raised bed. We call it spreader. You need attachment that will apply manure to your soil. There's all these things I'm mentioning, their risk is existing. That is what they are using outside the country. That's why when they are farming, they just put the machineries there, they change the equipment, they change the implement and everything. But you see, if you are working for government, we don't have a government as far as farm is concerned. We don't have a government. There's no government anywhere. And it's painful, it's awful when I see farmers, we keep struggling and we're not getting it because we are in between. We are not commercial farmers. No matter what you are planting to say, you are not commercial farmers. And then the little one, apart from tractors, there are little machineries. I wrote the other time on my timeline. If you are buying all these simple machineries, don't attempt to buy from China. I'm sorry, people that are selling Chinese products. It's pathetic. It's pathetic in the sense that, look, I'll buy something slasher. It can't last 1 week. And I've bought. My money gone. You bought sprayer. See, you buy sprayer. 8,000 sprayer cannot last you 1 acre or 2 acre. You guys know the experience. Sprayer, yes, NAFSA sprayer is like 8,000 now, 7,000, and they can't last you a whole season. Okay? They can't last you. Some you get to the farm, the fourth day, you see farmer is wasting water or the mouth is spoiled, anything. The last sprayer I bought the present sprayer I have at home now, I bought 30,000 naira for a knapsack sprayer. 30,000 naira. And you know the funny thing, you are going to the market. Somebody wrote something on my timeline this afternoon. He said, we are selling, the person said, we are selling cucumber the same price we've been selling, despite that the price of everything has tripled. And that is what is happening with the farmers. We keep, especially fresh vegetable farmer, you keep selling at the exact price that you've been selling in the last 5 years, 6 years. And prices that you are buying, things that you are doing, have tripled. So we need to go commercial to some extent. We need to go commercial and we need to increase productivity. Now, I'm not going into that this afternoon. What I'm discussing specifically is farm workers. So we need to look at machineries. If you can afford the simple, like, market gardener. I was following market gardener. That was what I used to design my farm. In market gardener, he has, I remember then, when I read in his book, he said his government gave him $58,000 at 5% interest rate to be paid back in 5 years, spread over 5 years. That was what they used to buy sophisticated machineries. You know what I mean? And on 1 acre of land, they are making a huge money. As in, on 1 acre as of then, when I read it, because I tried to convert the money he wrote then to Naira, they were making 36 million Naira on 1 acre of land per annum. And they are not working for a year. They work for 9 months and they go on holiday for 3 months. You know, there are some seasons when those periods where they cannot plant, where there's snow and everything. So they go on holiday, market gardener. That's what it's trying to fluctuate kind of. So this is what I've been explaining. So if there's a question, if there's any question, yeah, okay. Hey, I'm saying, guys, thank you. Some people sorry guys, I'm live on my Facebook page, Fan Villa, and people have been commenting there. I'm also live on my personal page, and I keep wondering if they are working, and no, good. Okay, the way forward is a robust training on farm mechanization. Yes, honestly, it's painful. The next word did not let. Okay, can send our WhatsApp number. I'm not doing WhatsApp. Check my Facebook page, Yinka Adeshola, or my Fan Villa. I'm live on both. I'm live on both sides. So okay, I'm seeing some questions here. Okay, so the way forward, you can see the challenges we've been having on the farm. So the way forward is we need machineries. See, there is this, like the other time I wrote it, and somebody sent me a picture about they sent me a picture where a sprayer that can spray a lot. Yes, I've seen the picture, but it sent me the price. To be candid, I'm sure maybe we even watch this. The price is saying is too much. It's beyond what a small farmer like us can afford for a sprayer. How many acres do I have? All my farm is not up to 10 acres. Okay, let's say about 10 acres. My home farm, yes, my own personal farm that I'm using for vegetables, they are just about 10 acres or thereabout. So if I'm buying one machinery for that price, how much will I buy the other machineries? Now, why I'm mentioning cooperative, guys, if in my community here, see, my community people will not do cooperative with me. I'm just being sincere with you. You know why? They are not interested. See, rural farmers are not interested in improving anything. 1, 2, rural farmers, we only adopt something that is already working. As in, okay, like I'm suggesting and form a cooperative or do this. Rural farmers will not do that. So they will only do that when they see that you've formed that thing, you've started that project, and the project is functioning, the project is working, is live and everything. That is when they will follow that system. But if it's not working, you know that attitude of until I see it, may I see them first. If they are not seeing it, they are not going to key into it. So it's a bit difficult. But for the educated farmers that we have, I'm being sincere with you. Machineries, see, let me look at you. Let's say we have 100,000 farmers in Nigeria, and all of the 100,000 of us, only one machinery is okay. Let's say we have 100,000 farmers, and for the 100,000 farmer, each like 20,000 of us can share one machinery. But because we are not coordinated, or because we are scattered everywhere, or because of the kind of system we run, everybody has to go and buy their own one machineries, which we cannot afford to buy. Let me use another example that, okay, mechanization, yes. government without, see, you can see I'm not even mentioning government here. You can see I've got to a stage in the farming system now that I don't want to mention government again for anything. I don't want to. It's hurtful, it's painful, it's somehow. But you see, government will do, whoever is in government at that period, we do whatever they think is suitable to them, or whatever they think they will be able to get some money into their own personal pocket. It's not about the community. Let me give you one instance. I told someone, I said, if I happen to have a chance to be in the government side or to have access to funds, let me tell you, I will also steal. But let me tell you the way I will steal. I'm telling you, yes, I'm being bold about it. Let's be sincere with ourselves. If you're in a position, I'm not saying don't steal, but when you are stealing, make sure other people are benefiting from it. Look at it this way. In Oyo State, I always like to use Oyo State because I'm staying in Oyo State. If I were to be one of the whatever, I don't know, I don't want to imagine anything because I'm not ever thinking of going to politics. If I were to be in charge of the Ikere Gorge Dam, yeah, you know what I would do? First thing, I'll ask them to allocate money. And by the time they allocate money to that place, because one of these days when I come online again, we're going to discuss about irrigation, water, and all this stuff. Please help me share the videos. I want more people to benefit. Let me give you some instances. When I come up to share this for you, I'm sharing it free. I'm giving this free. Some people paid to learn something from. Yes, there are things you ask me, I'll tell you, you have to pay for it. I'm being sincere with you. But when I come out, I give free like this. I want you to also share with some other people. There are two reasons why you need to share. When you share, you don't know your neighbor that will now partner with you in your community to be able to do all these things we're saying. Like I told you, if you come, you can't partner with me. See me in mile 12, you are in mile 13. It's far, we are far, our land are not close. People that can do community work or community contribution or community anything is when you are in the same area. For as long as we are not in the same area, we can. Okay, I'm going to tell, we may not be able to get a result. Like, I'm running a project presently. I've been running this project since last year. I put it on Facebook. I told people, I said, look, if you want to join me, we are trying to create a place where a vegetable farmer, for fresh vegetable farmer. See, I'm always running projects. Sometimes they fail, sometimes they work. Sometimes people call me, you know, I'm being sincere with you. That's why I say right now, if I'm saying anything right now, I'm not running any project again. I need to relax, or else it's becoming an issue. Okay, the other project, I'm always running 1, 2, 3. I may be running 3 projects at a time. Some do fail. Yes, some do fail, like the goat issue. Some do fail, while some do succeed. One that is currently succeeding, though somebody is helping me to push it out, I call on people. I think they've been very patient with me. Honestly, they've been very patient. Last year May or so, I put it on my Facebook. I said, come, if you're a vegetable farmer, let's find solution to our problem. And the people come along with me. They contributed money, and we pushed the money to Lagos. We got a place in Lagos, and we import something called cooling system. A cooling system kind of is a working cooler. You can Google it. It's called a working cooler. I was doing research, I got it. So we import one. We import, and we need to buy panels and some other things. We've completed it. I'm supposed to share, but I've not shared it. There's still a lot of things to put together. So we've completed the place. We are testing it to cool the temperature. What the place is meant for is that as a vegetable farmer, like the cucumber, tomato, pepper, and all these things, if you bring them, you bring it to the place, we put it there, it can preserve it for the next 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Now, the intention is not for us to preserve. The intention is for us not to take it to the market, because when we take it to the market in mile 12, the moment that every farmer plants at the same time, so maybe 100 of us plant and we are bringing it to mile 12, it means we are going to drop the price. As in, the supply is more than demand. So now, instead of some of us that are in my group taking our vegetables to the market where the price will drop, we'll keep it in our cooling system and be selling off to customers from there. As I'm speaking with you, I have customers that are looking for tomatoes, looking for this. Like I told you, my boys are not here. I've not planted anything. Yeah, I know my customers that don't eat synthetic. They eat organic, they eat natural. But I've not been able to plant because the boys are not here. Now it takes us back to the issue of machineries. It takes us back to the issue of farm workers again. Okay, so guys, if I can keep talking from now till tomorrow, but I won't. So that this little one I've pushed across to you, just go over it, think about As like I said, I'm not starting any project now apart from the ones I've been executing before or the one I've messed up before. Let me sort those ones out. But if you think I've said something that you could develop, please go and develop it. See, some of us are we used to read Strive Masiwa. My pronunciations are very poor, so you guys just manage me. In Strive, we always say there are problems. My case, they have come here, I've shared the problems with you. I'm always sharing problem in agriculture. Sometimes I try to prefer solutions. Sometimes I don't get the solution. Sometimes you understand. But me alone, I alone cannot do it. I and my team alone cannot do it. But someone else can pick something. Okay, I pick something from what she say. Let me go and develop it. It doesn't have to be me. Like when I shared about some abandoned farms where the farm, somebody was already complaining and say, but it needs a lot of work. And it needs a lot of work and everything. But unfortunately, I just immediately I went there to put notes. I'm not planning this. I just write as this coming to my head and I put it there. So I don't really have to do all the works or put everything. At some point, I couldn't even come with the videos again because I have messed up a lot of projects and people are always on my neck and I'm so scared. So I just have to bolt it up and say, look, yes, I failed. Like I told you, I have a degree in failures, but I'm not always relenting because if you don't strive, you won't get the answer or the result. Like I told you, the cooling system in Lagos will soon start working. I think it's about 90 or 95% completed. But these are the things you should also think of. Okay, somebody said, viable cluster is the way forward, where farmers can collaborate and leverage on one another to optimize our farms. Kenyan farmers didn't wait for government. Yeah, this is long. Yeah, I know. Last week, Millie said, yes, Dubai, yes, I know. See, the issue is, I always think clusters, but it's like most times, like I said, some of the clusters I messed up, some of the clusters I'm pushing, some of the clusters, honestly, I don't want to lead anything or any program right now. No, I just want to start sharing, give people ideas. You can go and develop the ideas. You can go and, whatever. But like I said, we are talking of farm workers and I'm sharing my challenges, my experience and the way forward. So somebody also said mechanization, but how without government support? Honestly, waiting for government in Nigeria is like waiting forever. We are not going to get anything done. So, and here we have, okay, you're right, mechanization is the way. Yes, everybody. So, in short, everybody agree with me that mechanization is the way. Oh, guy, I'll soon go. I've spent more than my initial 1 hour. Okay, I was late. Okay, fine. I was late. We started late. So, everybody said mechanization. Okay, somebody said mechanization is not the answer because 88% of farmers, which comprises of smallholder and medium-holder farmers, cannot afford mechanization. Okay, guys. When next we are meeting, we discuss mechanization. See, let me put this. I love when we are discussing like this. You send questions, I read it out, we discuss. I wish it was a one-on-one discussion class. It's easier for me. I love it, but it's fine this way too. So if you have questions, I'm going to fix another class. Or some people said I should be informing them 30 minutes if I want to come live. The challenge I have is, see, I live in a community. We don't have light. We don't have anything. Like today, when I fixed this time, there was light. Before I started, light has gone. I have to put on gen. So many times I'll see what I can do anyway. But mechanization, we need to discuss it because it's like some people said it's mechanization. Some people said it's not mechanization. Guys, what's the way forward? Because like I told you, the farm worker issue is being a challenge. I used to see, for me to call Burkina Faso, just 1 second alone cost me a lot. And this is people that did not even understand my Yoruba very well. So I have to call for like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, even more than that. I'll just load and start calling. So I'm telling, and these boys too now, it's not that they are here yet. All the farmers in my community know, but that's why the guys came now. They're telling us they want Auju. Farmer will say Auju. I don't know how to pronounce it, don't mind me. But I don't even know the kind of vehicle, the motorcycle they want now. I'm sure by coming here, they'll be asking us for a car. Because since they know we cannot do this farm without them, we are dependent on them. We need to find a way. Now, when people are saying mechanization, guys, we'll meet tomorrow. I'll come up with tomorrow or when. Tomorrow likely, so that we'll discuss mechanization. I know there's some type of mechanization they use in India. There's some kinds of mechanization they use. We will discuss it tomorrow. So join. I'm not giving you time. So if you come up, you see it, please, you can join us. But I'm not. If I give you time, I may go to farm and be busy and we have something else to do. So thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. If there's no question, okay. Okay, yeah, if there's no question, yeah, Kenya are really pushing. Kenya are really pushing. Kenya are really pushing. That's a country that I want to visit. That's a place I would love to visit this year. Yes, I want to visit that place. I want to honestly, those guys are really, really pushing. And I read something about them that they earn a lot from exportation of even vegetables. They earn a lot from there. I wish we can form a group. No, not form a group. See, if we form a group, the group is going to be online. It's not workable. It's supposed to be a group of farms, as in, this is my farm. I don't want to manage farm for anybody. I don't want to run farm, but okay, this is my home farm. You are here, your home farm is running. That person is there, his own farm is running, but not me running 10 people's farm. No, it's not convenient. It's not, it's not even convenient for me. It's not convenient for anybody. But assuming, see, in Ghana too, there's a place in Ghana, Upper, I can't remember the name again. Do you know what farmer do there? Okay, okay, cooling system is completed. We are having delays test running because of poor power supply. Another challenge again. Okay, okay, so okay, talking about the cooling system in Lagos. Yes, okay, what I'm saying is there's a place in Ghana I know too. They plant only chili pepper. But you see, it is not about me planting for 10 people. No, it is about 10 people planting 10 acres and they are monitoring their farm. It's easy that way. See, if I say that is the only way, me for now, that's the only way I believe. I'm not ready to do, and you understand, but I know it's difficult for people to leave their comfort zone and move to not comfort zone. I'm looking at, if I see people, what I will rather look at, okay, let's open up this place. Let's open up 30 acres, bring in 5 or 6 people, let them be in charge, let there be a sharing formula, let there be monitoring, let there be this, whatever. So guys, I will stop here for today, because to be candid, if we keep, that's why when I come on video, there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot. I feel like we jump from class to class, like we were discussing farm worker, but I'm glad we'll be moving to mechanization. So by the coming, maybe tomorrow, if the chance be, then we can discuss mechanization. You can invite your friend, we can invite people, you can contribute. If these things have been beneficial to you, please help share it. Let other people benefit from it, and let's see how we can push each other. Okay, so okay, somebody said there are simple mechanization equipment. Yeah, this is what simple mechanization equipment will make a lot of sense. Definite a lot of sense. Honestly, I wish there's a way we can do that. Like I used to see the one they fabricate in India. India fabricates a lot of simple machineries. The farmers didn't buy all these big ones. I wish we can, but like I said, China, I bet I don't buy anything from China. I bought their slasher. It didn't work. I bought their Espella, oil Espella. I even bought 2. It didn't work. I bought planter for tomato. I have them somewhere. They didn't work. So anything China now, honestly, I'd rather go for second-hand machineries rather than going to buying China product. Even planter, this planter they did for corn, it doesn't last long, so we need to look for a way to fabricate. Anyway, so we see tomorrow. So guys, thank you for joining.